we will get on with the broadcast, starting things off for our first matchup of the day. It's a rival league matchup. Distortion versus Thunderbirds, 5 and 6 versus 4 and 6. Both these teams in a tough spot here at Chung. Both these teams need to get these crucial victories to try and move into the playoffs. It's getting down to it.
Yeah, 100%. We saw Thunderbirds play last week on stream, so they did go to a game 5, so I expect nothing less from this game, with both these teams needing this pivotal win.
Yeah, I would very much expect this one to kind of go the distance. I think Distortion are those slight favorites on paper, but I'm hoping it'll stay close. I mean, we always want the good content here at Nemesis, so hopefully we do get that display. But again, these are playoff implications on the line. Lose here would put either of these teams in a tougher spot to try and really claw their way in, and you just want to be in that more comfortable spot moving forward.
Yeah, 100%. I think the Thunderbirds have a lot of momentum, though, going into this game. I know they have been using Loco a lot. We saw it happen last week in the stream. So I'm curious to see if they use him tonight. I think it would be very interesting because he is a Challenger League player. We all know like the top 5 players from the league below can definitely hold their own in the league above them. So I'd like to see if Local can show his dominance like he did last week.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what will happen, but we are hopping on to the pitch once again. Distortion, Flame Sprinkle, and DMs versus Thunderbirds, Crip, Arc, B-Ball, and Sleepy. And it looks like we're going to see an early start, first 4 seconds. Distortion wasting no time.
Yeah, Demon just gets a double off the kickoff. Good play here. I know that their game on Monday was streamed and spectating chat. Give a little shout out to spectating chat. It's a great place to see games and just show off teams.
Yeah, I mean, Distortion, they made themselves a big move, bringing DMS back here, and you know what? He has proved to already be a great look for this Distortion team, and obviously getting things started within 5 seconds of game 1 of this series. It's a good way to get momentum moving forward, but of course it is more than just 5 seconds. It's more than just one game. Expecting to see Thunderbirds try and get right back into it, but already having that early goal lead is always going to be huge.
Yeah, 100%. I'd like to see see if they can prolong their offense here. We saw a quick goal come from them. I'd like to see overall like more out of both these teams as we are just playing boom ball in the middle right now.
Yeah, both these teams kind of looking to settle, kind of gathering their bearings here in this first game. It's always a bit of a feeler game, it seems to be, and you kind of see both offenses still struggling to figure things out. We are seeing a boost steal and demo look from Arc B-Ball now. DMS tries to take this one up, will get blocked up high by Sleepy. Another good 50 through the midfield. Flame low boost dunked by Arc B-Ball. Sprinkle and DMS both go. It's awkward. B-Ball puts it middle. Flame is able to secure it back into the corner, but the defense a little bit in trouble for Distortion.
Yeah, 100%. Normally when you pick up a teammate you're familiar with, you kind of expect to have that chemistry. It just looks like they're a little bit awkward there on that play, but it's good to see they kept it out and are now on the attacking side. We'll see what they can do with their attacks.
Yeah, Crip doing his best to try and break through up to the ceiling. Goes Sleepy. Shot stopped early by Flame. Up into the ceiling. Sprinkle misses. B-Ball will knock it through the corner. DMS trying to stall him out. Big demo from Sprinkle to relieve a lot of pressure, but you can see just the sheer need of boost for Distortion finally being able to break through. Sprinkle, air dribble, can he take it all the way? No, not quite. A great goal line save from Crip.
Yeah, really good play by Dribble, or Sprinkle. I'd like to see more solo plays out of him, if he can keep that up, because that looked like a great opportunity for him to score there. Just got caught out a little bit at the end.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the Distortion guys are players who can really make an impact solo. We already saw, DMS have his look. We saw, Sprinkle have his look there, and When you think they can be able to have the potential to make those plays themselves, and if they're working as a team, they're going to be looking even more threatening.
Yeah, 100%. Team plays are always more fun to watch, in my opinion. But I'd like to see some team plays here. We saw team plays last time that Thunderbird stepped on stream. I'd like to see that from them here tonight, but without Local, it might be hard for them. He was a pretty big catalyst in that game, but we'll see how they play with Sleepy.
And they do have to figure some things out. Obviously, just over a minute and a half left to go. That last shot from Arc B-Ball was the only shot so far on target this game from the Thunderbirds. They really haven't been able to generate much offense at all. We've just seen a couple awkward reads here and there, not quite working as a unit. Obviously, it can be considered a warm-up game in game number 1, but you got to feel that they got to figure it out at some point.
Yeah, aside from that goal in the first seconds, no team has been able to find the net. Just to really stall out in the middle. We've seen some solid shots come out from Distortion, but like you said, they only have one shot on the side of the Thunderbirds, and I'd like to see them get more.
Running out of time to do so. 50 seconds left. Flame will take this one back, being challenged well by Art Beeble. Out to Crip. It goes with Sprinkle, intercepts. Maybe a look for Sleepy. Soft shot just rolled on target and boomed away, and ultimately that shot not proving to be too threatening. This one a little more dangerous on the other side from Distortion. Crip trying to find his way out. A bump comes through. Sleepy trying to escape. Will get blocked. Low boost on the side of Thunderbird. Shot on. Bar down and away. DMS will rotate back and take this one himself. And again, Thunderbirds, they seem to be having trouble really gathering possession, and Distortion just keep on coming. They'll double their lead.
Yeah, really great pressure here by Distortion. Just caught Thunderbirds caught in their own half, and Sprinkle just puts it ahead of two defenders who have low boost. I'd like to see some Thunderbirds offense here. Maybe they start out a little streamliners, maybe nervous or something, but I'd like to see them show up in this game 2 that we are going to have most likely, but I think they got it.
Yeah, it very well could be those nerves, but ultimately I think confidence is a huge piece of the puzzle that the Thunderbirds really got to figure out in one way or another. Again, getting shut out here to open up the series. In Distortion, it was a nice back and forth at the midfield, as you mentioned, Chunk, but it really looked like Distortion were in the driver's seat ever since those first 4 seconds when DMS got on the board. They were just able to hold that lead.
Yeah, 100%. They didn't they didn't look past that. Almost looked like after they got that 1-goal lead, they were just playing hard defense, playing hard keep away, just stalling time. But they showed a lot of pressure there at the end and got one more. We'll see if they can show that prolonged offense like they did at the end of the game in game 2 to get up early and repeat what they did here in game 1.
I mean, ultimately, the shot count is the other big stat category you got to look at. Thunderbirds finished with 2 shots compared to the 9 from Distortion. And, going 0 for 2, you just can't have that at this level. You need to put on more shots, or if you're only going to have 2, you really got to make them count. And the 2 shots we saw weren't all too threatening. Distortion were able to make the save, deal with them quite well, immediately turn things around. But we'll see what happens in game number 2. Thunderbirds gotta start finding some sort of early success in that. They will. 5 seconds now, and they're on the board.
Looks like we have a reverse here of game 1 with a 5-second goal for Thunderbirds here, as Sleepy just finds a mistouch from the Distortion here to put them up early in this game.
Yeah, it was a bump from Crip in the corner, force an awkward touch, and then Sleepy was just there in the midfield to take advantage. So a great way to start if you're the Thunderbirds after getting shut out in the first game. 5 seconds in, immediately putting one away, and now putting that pressure on Distortion that they were able to find in game number 1.
Yeah, 100%. I'd like to see if they can have prolonged pressure for Distortion like they did. Seems like they got quickly countered off that kickoff for the first goal, so we'll see if Thunderbirds also can have any sort of pressure if they just got lucky with the kickoff.
Yeah, we'll see how they're really able to develop their offense through the midfield. That's something we saw kind of both teams struggling with, honestly, in that first game. Obviously, Distortion were able to pick up one. Here's a nice shot, but saved on the pre-flip from Flame. Maybe a turnaround chance. Crip hunting this one down, making it awkward. Sleepy back to the sidewall. DMS looking for a Flame. He wants a shot, but it's a soft roller. Sprinkle wants the dunk. Kept out once more. The clear made from Crip to Sleepy, and Thunderbirds looking much more sharp here in this second game.
Yeah, it seems like they just woke up and they've already gotten more shots than they had in game one, and a lot more quality looks as Sleepy will get his second goal here.
Yeah, now they have equaled the amount of shots they had with the amount of goals they had in just a minute and a half compared to game number one, and that was a great infield pass from Crip, and Sleepy's not gonna miss it. This is a completely new looking Thunderbirds team.
Yeah, got rid of the nerves. We saw at the end, Flame said it gotta be the car in chat. So we saw Crip change cars. Maybe that could have an impact on this game. Maybe it was the car.
I mean, I do like his car, in fairness. The NRG Fennec with orange, he doesn't have orange tunicas, but regardless, it's a nice decal. I gotta give it to him.
Yeah, 100%. We all know that how you feel in Rocket League is how you play, so if you're feeling good with what car you have on, all props to you.
It's a mental game. It's a mental game. It really is, and Thunderbirds' mentality, it really has seemed to turn around as 2 minutes through this second game. They are looking in the driver's seat, and they're looking to keep adding on. Crip controlling ball, controlling boost, does get bumped out here. Sprinkle might have something, but Crip still on it, saving his flip, sends it away. Flame able to hold on for a moment for Distortion, but this game is just all Thunderbirds.
Yeah, it's kind of see how crazy they've turned around this game compared to the last one. They've got way more shots, way more quality looks. Looks like Sleepy has really led this team here with getting both goals and has 4 shots to his other 2 teammates with 1 singular shot.
I mean, Sprinkle wants to put the spotlight back on him, and Distortion, a self-pass to the sidewall. Great first touch, and look at this finish. Able to knock that one down. No one left to stop him for the Thunderbirds and Distortion. Hey, that's a great way to cut into the lead.
Yeah, 100%. This game's not over. I'd like to see them put in another one so we can have a little OT here.
I mean, getting that offense going is huge to finally, again, just open the floodgates, put one on the board. Maybe something here. No, Sprinkle had a look. He misses Flame. Dives into the corner, but nothing showing in. That very well could have been the equalizer.
Yeah, 100%. You're going to want that opportunity back if you're Distortion here. Looks like those are far and few between. Just ask Thunderbirds in that game one, as they didn't get like any quality looks in that game.
Now they're finding lots. We're seeing a lot of physicality out front. Sleepy all the time. And the world flicks it high. No one there for a second shot, but the pressure is there. Crip will turn around towards the side. Well, Sprinkle has no boost. Sleepy has free reign. Not the best first touch. Flame will be able to shut him down out in front. This one isn't trickling on target. Yes, it is. It's the car.
It was indeed the car, as Crip just gets an absolute piece of what looked like what I thought was a 50. It has a blue trail on it, though. It's just redirected into his own net bottom bins.
Yeah, Sprinkle tried to get in front of it, ended up just perfectly kind of going off that front bumper, off the corner and in, and that's a tough one. DMS wants it right back. He will get it. And Distortion, they're still trailing by 1, but their 2 goals have been beauties.
Yeah, I'm seeing deja vu, a kickoff double tap from Demas. We saw that in game 1, we saw it in game 2. Are we going to get it back to back? I think that might be his specialty here.
I mean, if it works, it works, and he has continued to stay up front in that sheet off position and has continued to add on pressure. A good look of passing through the midfield will eventually be taken away by Crip, and Thunderbirds, they are just looking to stall here.
Yeah, 100%. You're going to want this game if you're Thunderbirds. You do not want to be going down 2-0, as you will have to reverse sweep, and that is almost impossible.
Reverse sweeps, it's one of the toughest things to do in in all of sports, esports. It's just so tough mentally to try and bring it back as well. And Thunderbirds, they want to close this one out. They want to get it to that even 1-1 series, make it a best of 3, and that would be huge, but they got to put a stop to it. That's a great bump from Crip to clear from Arc B-Ball. Redirect from Crip as well, and he seems to have a lot of newfound confidence here in this second game.
Yeah, 100%. Crip came out looking different. Definitely was the car, I would say, but he will lead us as we get a 1 second goal, a quick counter attack here.
Yeah, everything looks safe, and then Arc B-Ball, that missed throughout, Sprinkle off the backboard, and Flame out in front. And Thunderbirds, all they had to do was keep themselves safe for 5 more seconds, and now 1 on the clock. Overtime is here. You said you wanted it, Chunk. We got it.
Yeah, I was stunned. I couldn't believe my eyes. I was looking to get to the next game, but the quick counter attack just left me completely stunned.
We'll see who can ice up and take this second game. Distortion, this would be a huge win here if they're able to pick up this second game, get a late game comeback, and win it in overtime to go up 2-0. And Thunderbirds, again, already talked about it, trying to just even up this series, not go down far. DMS has a breakaway, trying to find a way through Sleepy. A great cutoff there, not letting him have the chance to go middle. Arc B-Ball trying to break through, but Flame will shut things down in the 1v1. Another big clear out, and you can just see a little boomer ball between both these teams that no one really wants to overextend.
Yeah, 100%. We saw a little overextension cost Thunderbirds at the end of regulation to a quick counterattack, but I don't think either teams want to be caught out like that again.
Sprinkle backflip flick into the crossbar. Flame is there. The save is made. It was a great effort from Distortion, but now have to play defense. Arc B-Ball looking to get it over to Crip. He will bail out. Sleepy off sidewall, not much giving Flame. We'll take this one safely away off ceiling. Crip is pre-jump. Flame delivers it to DMS. Huge save made by Arc B-Ball. Another counter in tow. Sprinkle will make the stop. I mean, this is an incredible back and forth.
Yeah, 100%. We just see shot, beautiful save by Arc B-Ball into another quick shot by Thunderbirds and another quick save away. I like to see the game slow down. Like this could go either way here.
Yeah, someone is bound to make a mistake at some point. Flame, that's a good beat. Crip, another nice save. Flame trying to go down in middle. Arc B-Ball makes the clear. Sprinkle does not get the boost spawn. DMS trying to take it himself. Will dunk Sleepy into the corner. Wins that boost. Crip dishing it out. Cut short by Sprinkle. Big demo from the DMS as well. The path is clearing. Shot saved again. Thunderbirds are getting pushed back again and again, but still holding on. Here's a shot from Arc B-Ball. Top left, just wide.
Yes, we see a little double commit come out. They were from the side of Distortion. It seemed like they were a little panicked there as they had a good shot there. But I think that this defensive game is going to come down to who makes a mistake. We have a total of 12 saves by the Thunderbirds right now. Make that 13, and we have 8 from Distortion here.
Sleepy ripping it into the backboard. He has a double on look. DMS shuts it down. Crip is last left. DMS to the sidewall. Flame snapshot will be tapped away. DMS follow-up cut off by Sleepy. And yeah, Sleepy's got 3 saves. Crip has 4, and Arc B-Ball has 6, which is absolutely insane. 3 minutes gone by of this overtime. We've seen a ton of pressure, mostly on this Thunderbird side, but hey, they're not breaking.
Yeah, we had 6 total shots in game 1. Half the lobby has 6 shots in this game right now. Absolutely different pace from that game 1. I'd like to see who can break through this with all these great saves coming out. Who is going to crack under the pressure?
There's a good reset and dunk, but Arc B-Ball still there to hold it out. He picks up his 7th save of the game. Flame, backboard, wants a double Sleepy with a great redirect out, forcing DMS to retreat with possession. And Distortion, they have been able to hold on to this possession for the majority of this OT, but still nothing giving. Sprinkle in a 1v1, he's got no boost. Sleepy blocks one, blocks a second. Flame is left, goes low past another, can't get it on target, can't get it out to Sprinkle. DMS, he's gonna have another look, cut short by Sleepy, and the Thunderbirds will just not stop.
Yeah, Flame got caught back there with a little boost. Looked like they could almost get a counterattack, but they just missed the opportunity. A great game so far. People are going to get over 1,000 points with the length of this. OT as Crip will find one to end this 9+ minute game.
And it's the car. It really is the car, as DMS couldn't make contact with that one. And then Crip able to fire that one right side past Flame. 4.5 minute overtime. And the Thunderbirds, with some incredible defense, hold on, hold out. And they're going to tie up the series 1-1.
Yeah, if we have games that long, Jonas, I might lose my voice. Absolutely insane 9-minute game, as we will. This game could go 30 minutes. Honestly, the amount of back and forth we had in that game was just incredible. I think the final save count, as we can see for Thunderbirds, was 17-8. So you can really see Thunderbirds on their back heels and still able to win that game.
Yeah, 22 shots from Distortion is unheard of, but I mean, the saves staying up there for the Thunderbirds, that was some of the most incredible defense I have seen here in Nemesis, being able to hold out in that OT under constant pressure. They didn't have possession, they didn't have boost, but they were able to find those saves time and time again to get the win. And now this could be a huge momentum shift in this series. It's 1-1. It's a best of 3 from here on out. But after winning that OT, you gotta feel that the Thunderbirds are riding high.
Yeah, 100%. I like to see them not on their back heels this game. It just seems like they're gonna give me a heart attack. The amount of times that they were forced to make excellent saves just seemed like Distortion was completely in control of the offense and pace of the game.
Yeah, I think if you are a Thunderbirds fan, you want to see them maybe not be on the back foot as much here in game number 3. You want to see them maybe take the initiative, maybe get that more offensive pressure going. But hey, whatever works, whatever they choose to do, if they're able to stay out in front, then why not? Crip out to Art B-Ball. Shot will be sent away early by DMS. Sleepy trying to find his way through, but again, low boost. Art B-Ball waiting on the backboard. Crip as last will send this one towards the corner. Flame will take this one himself, and ultimately it still feels like the first little bit of these games is these teams figuring each other out. But I will say this is the first game in this series so far where we haven't had a goal in the first 5 seconds.
Yeah, great to see them settle down, realize what's going off on kickoffs, not make a mistake. But if we keep seeing defense like we saw at the end of OT here, we are going to have a long, scoreless game.
I mean, you got to feel that both these teams got to be a little bit fatigued after that. They played almost 10 minutes straight of Rocket League, and maybe seeing the fatigue start to set in as Sleepy just was nowhere near this ball off the backboard, and DMS gets one heck of a freebie.
Yeah, it looked like Sleepy 100% could have saved that. I know it's in his capability as a rival, but like you said, that fatigue, the longer the series goes on, the more you want to be like done with the series, at least in my experience. You do not want to be having these long, drawn-out series, especially if they're very equal and defensive series.
I mean, I do have to ask, Chung, looking at what we've seen so far, if we do see this series go to a game 5, you know, maybe a couple more overtime, just really drawing this series out, do you think that favors either one of these teams?
I don't think so. We saw only a little bit of fatigue, but the longer you play, the more you're bound to make a mistake eventually. Like, you cannot play the game perfectly forever. I haven't seen a mistake like that come out of Distortion, so I'd maybe favor them, but other than that, I haven't really seen anything that could show signs of that for either of these teams.
Did see Sprinkle make a great save. Sleepy trying to go middle. Art B-ball dunks past two, but Crypt didn't want to dive in. Now a slight miss here. Flame will get it out to DMS. Pre-flip from Sprinkle to put that one through, in Distortion have really seemed to turn it around after the overtime loss.
Yeah, Flame kind of fakes him out as Sprinkle will shoot this right on Arc B-ball, and unfortunately he can't get the save. Good to put them up 2-0 with half the game left in. If they can win this game, it will put them in a commanding lead for this series.
Yeah, you gotta feel that Thunderbirds aren't gonna go down quietly regardless, but of course getting to that match point in this best of 5, having that kind of control is always going to be huge. But don't want to count the Thunderbirds out just yet. But again, similarly to the first game, we're seeing their offense come to a bit of a standstill as I say it. Arg B-ball will cut the lead in half for the Birds on a great 50 from Sleepy.
Yeah, it seems like the caster's curse is back. It was just over Flame, didn't expect it to come back at him so fast, and just like that, Thunderbirds have life in this game.
Yeah, ultimately they have been leading the shot count. They do have 6 shots compared to the 2 for Distortion, but looks like they just have quality over quantity right now, going 2 for 2 compared to Thunderbirds currently sitting at that 1 and 6. And you said it, if you're gonna have only a couple shots, you got to make sure they count, and that's exactly what Distortion have done.
Yeah, 100%. Sprinkle, before that play, had a goal without a shot, as he was credited for a pool shot. So it's important to keep in mind that maybe the numbers may be a little deceiving, but I have seen a lot more of offensive pressure from them, just not shooting a whole lot here. But it has seemed like Distortion has been more offensive in this game than their shots total has really said this game.
Sleepy trying to find something here. DMS, good ceiling challenge to send this one away. Crip, low boost, trying to get it over to someone on the far side. Art B-ball, low 50. Crip slowing down the clear, high bounce off the sidewall. Sleepy booms it towards the far side. B-ball is there, 50. Headed back up the other way. Sleepy outsped by Flame. Now Crip will have a look, looking for a bump out in front. DMS, big clear out, and possession will once again fall back to the Thunderbirds, but starting to run out of time. 40 seconds to try and tie this one up and perhaps get back to another OT.
Yeah, great defensive performance so far from Distortion. Whenever I checked, it seems like they're almost always on under 50 boost, just able to keep it out of their half and not get punished for having so little fuel reserves.
They've been able to stay in it well, and they're going to have to continue doing that for these last 10 seconds. Thunderbirds need to give it all they have. Flame a good 50. Arc B-ball slow play out to Crip, but DMS is there in time. This one needs to stay alive. It will not. Distortion bounce back from the OT loss and have themselves match point.
Yeah, we kind of saw the opposite of last game with Distortion. What looks to be on their back foot for saves, but their defense was solid enough to really set the game and lead them to a victory here and have that game point here, or match point rather.
Yeah, and I mean, ultimately, I mean, you said it best. Seeing kind of the roles reverse here is Distortion that picked up 7 saves compared to the 2 from the Thunderbirds. They didn't have a ton of offensive pressure, but they didn't seem to need it. They were able to find their goals where they were needed, have that defense work for them. Even if they got pushed back here and there, they still were able to hold it out, and ultimately we still didn't see the Thunderbirds offense really clicking. I don't think we have quite seen that at all this series. Obviously, back in game 2, the defense was really working. Game 1, obviously, not much was going well at all. And I really still think their offense can find a new stride, kind of hit that higher gear. But as of right now, it's still been a bit quiet.
Yeah, 100%. It was way more quiet than that long game we had in game 2, but a lot more settled down, a lot more prolonged possessions, not quick counterattacks. It just favored more of the Distortion in that last game when they were able to really just fend off the relentless attacks that Thunderbirds had. Maybe not the quite of opportunities Thunderbirds want. They had a lot of shots, like we said, but they just couldn't find that quality and score those shots that they needed.
But we'll see if they can again bring it back like they did in game number 2, as they have to here. Their backs are against the wall. They need to win 2 games in a row to try and hold out this series again. If they do lose here, they will drop to 4-7, and that's going to make that playoff run a little bit closer. Again, if Distortion, they do get the W, they'll be up at 500. They'll be up at 6-6. Much better look to try and just kind of try and secure one of those last playoff spots. But ultimately, we mentioned that there was a lot on the line, and these players have been playing like it. But Forbidden Temple is the venue here for game number 4. Distortion, they want to end it right here, right now.
Yeah, 100%. You do not want to prolong this series. If you're Distortion, you want to end this quick. Before we saw, this has already been a long series and we're only in game 4. We don't want to see some of that fatigue we were talking about happen to Distortion instead of on the side of the Thunderbirds.
We very well could see it. I mean, the Thunderbirds, they want to make Distortion uncomfortable, and extending this series to 5 and winning almost a 5-minute overtime would definitely set some fatigue and maybe make the nerves a little bit show up even more so. But you got to be able to hold on here, as already in these first 45 seconds, it has been a lot of Distortion offense early. Maybe something for B-Ball. Sprinkle will cut it down to the corner. Sleepy trying to get it over to Crip. Will find a dunk. DMS in an awkward spot. Sleepy looking for someone out across. Won't find anyone.
Yeah, the great solid defense that we saw in all of game 3 really coming to show light here in this game 4. I'd like to see some demos or something to just distract this Distortion defense that has been great so far in this series. They've only made a couple of uncharacteristic double commits, but if you're Thunderbirds, you got to find a way to capitalize on mistakes and score goals from that.
Yeah, I do think we need to see something change in the offensive department again. That shooting percentage last game was just not what it needed to be. We saw them look really good in that second game when they were opening up a couple more infield passing plays, kind of utilizing each other through that midfield. They looked a lot better when they were able to connect like that, and hoping to see that come back here in game number 4. But it has been a quiet first 2 minutes. No one really stepping up too much. Maybe something here. Sprinkle will break through a couple. Crip is last back in the 1v1 air dribble bump, but Crip stands strong.
Yeah, great defense from Crip there. You do not want to see yourself caught in 1v1s in this series if you're these teams, as the defense in 1v1s is so much harder, and like we've seen so far, the defense from these teams once they've been up has been really solid. I don't think we've seen any team really take advantage after they've been down in the series so far.
See if that will stay the case as TMS picks up a great save here. I am very interested to see who puts this first goal away here in game number 4, as it very well could be the decider. Maybe a look here for Distortion. Flame up high, trying to 50 through. Crip can't do so. Sprinkle next in line, loses his flip. Tried to find a shot on that tough angle. DMS wants a dunk, will get through Arc B-Ball, but Sleepy, low boost in a tough spot, will find a late 50. And again, Thunderbirds defense continuing to hold on, looking a little bit more similar to game number 2.
Yeah, solid defenses have been shown all this series so far. The offense is a little less, other than that big scoring game 2. But I'd like to see either of these teams just show us something different. Maybe a bump play, a passing play that we've seen so much in this rival league. Just something to shake up this game.
So look for DMS, not much there. Double bump comes through, and Flame will ping it off the crossbar. Sprinkle next in line, reset, flip blocked by Crip up high, and a big chance there for Distortion goes by the wayside, and there's still a minute left in regulation. They're gonna have to try and correct it.
Yeah, 100%. Like we were talking about, a bump to change it up. They got the bump, they just didn't capitalize with the shot. An unfortunate mistake for them. We'll see if it comes to haunt them in this game.
They're really trying to add on that first one very well. Could head to a golden goal OT as no one's been able to find anything yet, but Distortion, they seem due at this point. Sprinkle going under Crip. Sleepy is there. No one closed that second. Put across by DMS. Flame, upper 90, and what a beaut!
Oh my goodness, that went in. He smacked that ball an infield pass, and it touches everything on the side of the net, and it will drop in. Phenomenal shot there by Flame.
A great setup by DMS as well, getting the pass out, then turning for the bump on the final player in net, and maybe another one here. Flame big demo out front, but DMS couldn't put it on target, so no security there. Thunderbirds, they're gonna have maybe just one chance left. Sprinkle looking for the dagger. Sleepy going towards the corner. Crit favors the boost, and Thunderbirds need to go the full length arc. B-ball, no late touch there. Crip off the sidewall has Sleepy middle. He's looking for him. No read. It will drop, and Thunderbirds will go down here in game number 4. Distortion get it done.
Yeah, phenomenal game. Like you said, the golden goal did decide this game. We saw a little bit more team plays there at the end, more bumps, and I feel like that really just decided this last game and set the the scale over for Distortion, as they will win the series 3-1.
Yeah, ultimately, Thunderbirds just weren't able to get that offense started again. Went 0 for 5 in that final game, and that was the second game of the series that they had gotten shut out. So it's just tough to see that offense not quite getting going. Distortion were able to really kind of hold possession for a lot of that, hold boost for a lot of that. They seem to be kind of the quicker of the two teams. They stayed out in front well, and they will move up to 6-6 again, really trying to move forward with those playoff chances. And Thunderbirds, well, it just got tougher.
Yeah, 100%. You do not want to be losing like these close games in the midseason, as it can really just send bad trajectory going forward to the playoffs, as you might have to play tougher teams and get wins that are way harder.
We saw a great series to open up the stream here tonight. We are going to take a quick break before returning to the rival league. Chimeras versus Mafiosos starting in about 7 minutes. You're not going to want to miss that one. We'll be right back.